In this video I will show you how you can apply style transfer effect to a live camera preview in Expo React Native for Android using CameraX, Media 3 as well as TensorFlow LiteRT. So let's get started. Now before I show you guys the output, I want to show you guys few images. So ignore this, I have already created the project, I'll tell you more about it. But for now just concentrate on this two images. So here is one of the image and this is the other image. Now you can use whatever image you feel like, you don't have to use just these two images, use whatever image you feel like. So basically we'll take the style of this particular image and apply it to our live camera preview. So let me quickly show you guys the output. So here you can see I have my app running. It is asking me for the camera permission first. I'll just give the camera permission and then it will display the live camera preview. So here you can see, and we have the capture button at the bottom as well. So I can move my camera, but it has taken the styles of that particular image and applied it to the live camera preview. So hopefully you get the point over here as well. So I can just click on the capture button over here. It captures the image and display it inside an image view for us. So yeah, let's see how to do this. We will be writing a lot of native code, so just a heads up. So first this is just a cheat sheet which I have created. So the steps you need to follow first before we start writing the code. So you just need to open this documentation first. So you need to create an Expo project, Expo React Native project. So for that you can create a project using this blank TypeScript template. Feel free to use the other templates as well. I am using this blank TypeScript template. So to create an Expo project you can just run this particular command. Once the project is created, you need to go to this particular URL over here. So I'll just open it inside a new tab again. And here you need to select Android device. Here you need to select development build. Then I have disabled EAS. If you want you can enable it as well. Select your own operating system. You need to install Watchman. I have already done all of this setup. So Cas Zulu, Java Home, install Android Studio as well and follow all the setups which are given. Then set this path as well, set this source home as well. And then what you need to do, once your Expo React Native project is set up properly, is created, then you need to cd to your Expo React Native project and run this command inside your terminal. Once you run this command, then you need to scroll down and then run this particular command. So this will create the Android folder. So if I just show it to you quickly, here you can see we have this Android folder. So that is created and it will ask you whether you want to run it on a real device or on an emulator. Don't run it now because we will be writing native code, so you'll have to run it again from the start. So that's why I'm avoiding it for now. Then once that is done, you need to add an Expo module to your application. So for that again make sure you are already cd into your Expo React Native application, and inside that you need to first run this particular command over here. So this will ask you few questions like what should be the module name and everything. Just press enter thrice and it will create this particular modules folder for you as well. Okay, and inside that we have this my module. So I'll just close my cheat sheet now. That should be it. Then you need to go to app.tsx. First let's see how to use it. So you have to write all these imports. Okay, sorry, before that let me quickly show you one thing. So just go to modules, my module, go to src, my module.type.ts, and here you can see I have commented out this URL prop because we are not passing any prop from React Native side. So I have commented this out, and instead of this onload event which was present by default, I have refactored it to on image taken because on image taken makes more sense in our case. Okay, then come back to app.tsx over here, and these are all the imports for this. Then here I have created one state for image URL and one state for camera permission. Then here I am just checking whether user is using above Android 10 or not. Here we call this particular method request camera and storage permission if platform is Android. Then depending on the Android version, so we only require camera permission above Android 10, whereas for below Android 10 we require camera as well as write external storage permission. Then here I just check whether all permissions was granted. If yes, then change the state according to that. Then inside this use effect we just call request camera and storage permission. Then here we have this image URI which is not equal to empty, then display the image. If it is empty, then if camera permission is given, then display our my module view which will display the live camera preview along with the capture button. Else just display a text saying camera permission not granted, and these are all the styles for it. Then you need to go to the main Android folder. You need to go to build.gradle. Here you need to add this dependency. First one is camera core, camera 2, camera lifecycle, camera view, then the app compat. This media 3 effect dependency is still in alpha at the time of me recording this video, but if it does become stable by the time you guys are watching it, make sure you use the stable version. Then here we have this media 3 effect as well. Then we have this LiteRT support API, LiteRT GPU and LiteRT. So TensorFlow Lite has been renamed to LiteRT, so that's why this dependencies has also changed. Then you need to go to src, go to the main Android folder over here, go to app, src, main, android manifest.xml, and here you need to add this uses feature of Android hardware camera and camera permission. Now at the time of me creating an Expo project, this right external storage was present by default. If you don't see this, because they keep changing the template every now and then, if you don't see this permission, make sure you add that as well. Then just close this main Android folder, go to this Android folder of your module, and inside the src main you need to create a folder called assets, and inside this assets folder only you need to pass, like copy paste your image. You can't just keep it anywhere else. It needs to be present in the assets of our main folder. So here you can see I have these two images, and these are the TensorFlow Lite models. Now I will copy paste a link for those models inside the pin comment. So do check where you can download this TensorFlow Lite models as well. Then you need to go to Java. First you need to create this particular Kotlin file called style transfer effect. Now you can copy this package name from this mymodule.kt file. So whatever you see over here, just paste it over here. Rest you can just copy what I'm showing it to you. So these are all the imports. Now even I'm not good at this, I have copy pasted this code from the Android documentation. That's why I'll simply scroll through this file. Feel free to pause the video wherever you feel like and just copy all this code. Okay, then you need to go to mymodule.kt, and here what I have done is that I have commented out everything. Only thing which I have taken is this events on image taken, because our events name is this. We are not using any props, so I have commented out this part as well. Then you need to go to mymoduleview.kt, and again this is the package name. Now these are all the imports. I'll simply scroll through this imports. Then here we annotate with @unstable, because at the time of me recording the style transfer effect is still but unstable. That's why. I mean it works fine, it's just that the API is unstable. Then here we have this event dispatcher. Here we get hold of our activity. This is the frame layout. Then here is our camera. This is the preview view. This is the image capture. Then we initialize our capture button. Here we initialize our preview view. Here is our camera executor service, and here is our process camera provider as well. Here we get the back facing lens. Then here we set the layout params to our frame layout, add our frame layout to our parent view. Then here we set the layout params to our viewfinder. Here we call this method. I'll come back to that why we do this. Then we add the viewfinder to our frame layout. We set the text background color, text color for our capture button. Then we set the layout params for our buttons as well. Then we add the capture button to our frame layout. We add an on click listener called take photo. Then inside on attached to window, if we have the camera permission, then we just do viewfinder.post setup camera, and on detach from window we just shut down our executor as well as unbind our camera provider. Now why we are calling this particular method? So this is basically a hack which we need to do. If you don't do this, you will see a black screen, you will not see your live camera preview. And if you want to learn more about it, you can go to this particular issue which has been opened since 8 years in the React Native repository. They have still not fixed it. Then inside setup camera we get hold of our camera provider feature. We add a listener to it as well. Then we get hold of our camera provider. Then we call bind camera use case. Then inside this bind camera use case we get hold of our rotation. We assign our camera provider. We initialize our camera selector. Then here is our aspect ratio strategy. Here is our resolution selector as well. Then we initialize the preview view. We initialize our image capture as well. Then here is our use case group builder, and then we define our media 3 effect. And here you can see we set the byte buffer effect, bitmap. Here we pass the style transfer effect Kotlin file, and instead of style.jpg you need to pass your own image name, so whatever image you are using over here. Then we add the media 3 effect to our use case group builder. We unbind our camera provider, we bind it to the lifecycle over here, and then we assign the new camera to this particular camera object. And finally we set the surface provider as well. Then here we have this take photo button where we get the image capture. Then here is our simple date format for file name. Then we use content values by passing the display name, mime type, and if Android version greater than p, we also set the relative path. Then we do image capture dot output file options by passing in the builder, then building it, then doing image capture dot take picture, and once the image is saved, we pass the URI of the saved image back to React Native side with the help of this event. Then we unbind our camera provider. Here we just check whether we have the appropriate camera permissions or not, and these are just variables which we have defined. So yeah, that's all there is to it. If you have any questions, do let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Bye.